Hey, my name is Barry Mitchell. I'm part of a team called Uncovering Greatness. For well over a decade, I've worked with tens of thousands of people around the world to help them explode their income, explode their sales, anywhere from 20% to as much as 300 or 400% in a matter of months. And I'm really excited that you have taken up the opportunity to go through this one pager called 5 Secrets of Highly Effective Closers. So in this one pager, you'll learn 5 powerful, effective, but simple steps that you can take, that you can master to become a much more effective, high earning closer. So I first learned this technique, or I first observed it over 25 years ago. I had a business selling mining consumable products, and I had a distributor, a supplier. Actually, I was his distributor. I had a supplier come out to visit me, and at that stage, I lived in Zimbabwe. I had a supplier to come out to visit me, and we were on a countrywide tour. We were going around the country. We were visiting potential clients. I just started that business. It was a new relationship. And we ended up in a place called Victoria Falls. And close to Victoria Falls, there's a big coal mine called Wangi Colliery. And we were driving from the falls back to a town called Bulawayo. And on the way, we came across this colliery. And this guy Clive said to me, he said, "Hey, have you ever been here before?" I said, "No, I'd never been in that area. I knew about the mine, but I'd never been on it." And he said to me, "Why don't we stop in?" So anyway, we stopped in. We sold our way through the gate, through the guards, got onto the mine, and we ended up in the open cast offices and ended up sitting with some of the mine captains and the shift bosses. Now, those of you that know anything about mining, those are the guys that make a lot of the decisions on the mines. And this is where I really saw effective sales take action, because this guy, Clive, he didn't just sit down and start telling people what he did and where we were and why they needed to work with us, which is the trap of most salespeople and most people who close. They just tell too much and listen too little. What he did is he walked in, sat down, and immediately got in their world and started asking some questions. And all the questions that he asked were related to 3 critical areas. 1, problem. 2, solution. 3, benefit. He connected to the problem. He found out what their problems were by asking them questions, problems that we could solve, but he didn't sit there telling them that they had a problem. He asked them questions and uncovered the problems that they had. Then he did something that created incredible connection. He asked them questions around a solution. He asked them questions. If you could do this, if you could do that, would that help? Have you ever tried this? Solutions that we already had as a business, but solutions by asking questions and getting into their world. Solutions that made those solutions their solutions. And then he asked them, what is the benefit? Why would you want to do that? If you could solve those things, what would it mean? What would it mean in terms of money, time, effort, energy, returns? What would be the return on investment? And from there we could make an offer. But when we made that offer was connected to their benefit, to their perceived solution, to their problem. And by the time we finished, they were asking us when we could come back and when we could deliver. So in this one pager, what you're going to do is you're going to go through a series of steps, and at each step, you're going to make some notes and list some bullet points. So work through secret 1 to secret 5, problem, solution, benefit, offer, close, listing down some bullet points around each of those areas. So in problems, what problem does your business, product, or service solve? In solution, what solution does your product or service provide to solve your client's problem? To get that kicked off, watch the first step. Step 1, watch the video of 5 secrets to highly effective closes, where I do a little bit of teaching around problem, solution, benefit, offer, close. Spend some time on this. Go through it, flesh it out. Once you've done that, go to step 2 and watch the video on questions are the answers. Because the real skill in closing is your ability to be able to ask questions. I saw the results that we got on that mine. I did business with that mine for the next 3 years. But it all stemmed from Clive's ability to be able to ask them a lot of questions and get them to connect to the sale. You see, a lot of people spend way too much time telling. They sit and they tell. Many people understand this. They understand the problem. They understand the solution. But the biggest problem is they tell. They tell the client, the prospect, that they have a problem. They tell the client that they have the best solution. They tell the client what the benefit would be for the client without even listening to what the client's benefit is. They tell the offer, and often they struggle to close. I don't know if you can connect with that. So questions are the answers. If you want the answers to what will take your client over the edge, you've got to ask questions. And the real process goes like this. Ask for the problem. Ask for the solution. Ask for the benefit. Tell the offer. And very often, if you get good at doing this, your client will ask. And they will close themselves. So in part 2, you're going to create a series of questions. A series of questions that will help you identify the client's problem, identify the client's solutions or possible solutions that will work with the client. Now remember this, that you already know the problems. You already know the solutions. Well, if you've been in business for a while selling your product and service, but what you want to do is you want to put those problems and solutions in the mind of the client. And then you're going to find some benefit identifier questions. You're going to ask the client, what would be the benefit to them? Because if it's a benefit to them, that creates emotion, that creates a connection. If you can create a benefit, and what happens in sales is if the cost of the solution, which comes from the offer, if the cost of the solution is not more beneficial, is more expensive than the return of the benefit, people won't buy. Whereas if the return of the benefit, and it's often a perceived benefit, if the return of the benefit to the client is bigger than the cost of the solution, people will buy. And the more you connect to solving their problems, the more excited they will get, the more they will ask you when and how you can do the deal. And then you're going to ask for the order. Again, questions. You're going to ask, tell, they ask. If you get it really good, and you ask for the order. Once you've been through these 10 steps, step number 3, you're going to put it all together. So watch the video in step number 3. It's about time to take action. Practice, put it together, and go out and make it happen. Good luck. Become $1 million closer. Looking forward to see you in the world of uncovering greatness in the future. I hope this adds massive value to you. Be awesome. See you soon.